Yes, bro.
Ushnas yuktasu. So Ram Sakhibhyam Ushnas Purudanksha Saneha Satyate Bhashya Sauras Budhamvina. And Ushana Ushanasa Ushanasaha. Ushanaso Nantatvam Salopitvam. Vishnu Sargantatvam Cha Buddhi. The word Ushanas either becomes a word ending in na, a word that undergoes deletion of its sa, or a word ending in a Vishnu Sarga when Buddha follows. So, so when we have 8-1, Ushnas Yuktasu. So Ushnas Yuktasu, so one time it becomes Na Ramanta, Ushanan Yuktasu, and Radha viṣṇujanābhyam ityadi. One time the Sa Rama is deleted, Ushana Yuktasu, then again Vamanagopi Radhabhyo, no. Eva Vamanabhyo Buddhasya Darshanam. Then Ushnas Yuktasu, it becomes Vishnu Sarga, and again Radha viṣṇujanābhyam ipaschatri vikramat sor haraha. And in this case, this Vishnu Sarga is considered to be Viṣṇujana. That's why that sutra is applicable. So Ushanan, Ushana, Yukta, and Ushanaha by this sutra. Ushanaso Nantatvam Salopitvam Vishnu Sargantatvam Cha Buddhi. So Na Antatvam is Na Yasya Antaha, Nantatvam. Salopitvam is Sa is getting deleted, Lopa, and Vishnu Sarga Antatvam. 3 things. So Ushana, Ushanasau, Ushanasaha, Ushanasam, Ushanasau, Ushanasaha, Ushanasa. One minute. Ushanasa, Ushano Bhyam. So this is Purvasya Vishnu Padavatvam and Sararamir Ityadi. Then Adarama Gopalur Nityam, Ushano Bhyam, and so on. Ushanase, Ushnasaha, Ushno, Ushnasa, Ushnasoho, Ushnasam, Ushnasi, Ushnasoho, Ushnasu, Vishnu Sarga. Then again, Shaurishu, Shaurirva could be applied, and it could be Ushnasu, a dental sa in place of this. But mostly that is not applied, and Ushnasu. Ushanan, Ushana, Ushanaha, Ushanasa, Ushanasaha. Then we have the word anehas. What is the meaning of anehas? I think it's something.
Incomparable.
So aneha, anehasau, anehasa, anehasaha, anehasam, anehasau, anehasaha, anehasa, aneho bhyam ityadi. Same, like almost similar like this. But in the Sambodhana it goes like a normal one, because for Ushnas we have a special sutra for Sambodhana 8.1. One more thing is like normally Atva Santodhavasya would have been applied here, because this is as anta, atu as anta udhav. So, but we have a special sutra for this word, which is Rirama Sakhibhyam Ushanas Purudakshas. So that's why we apply this one. And we have aneha, anehasau ityadi. 8.1 will be of anehas, anehas yuktasu, then buddham vinare. 8.1 will be anehas, because it says buddham vina. Atva
8.1 should be
Santodhavasya.
anehasas, right? Anehas.
What is that sutra? Atva Santodhavasya Trivikramaha.
Buddhavarjita right? Okay, that's also Buddhavarjita.
Buddha Varjita so that says. So it will be Anehas 8-1. Simply Radha Vishnu Janabhyam Ipascha Trivikramat Swarara.
But this is calling for this Rirama Sahivam Ushanas Purudam Shas Anehas Ityetebhyasya Swaraj Padam Vina, isn't it? Because we're getting Ach.
Yeah, means in 8-1 I'm saying that it will remain Anehas.
Yeah. So we just get Radha Vishnu Janabhyam. They give
because
it
when we
flutter
don't
down.
because when Riram is not applied, then we go forward and look for the next expected sutra, and that is Atva Santodhavasya. But even there it says Buddham Vina.
Buddham Vina. I see. Yeah.
So it remains Anehas. So Purudangshas is Purudangshas Yuktasu, Anehas, then Riramasakibhyam Oshunas Purudangshas. So Purudangsha, Dangshasau, same thing. Okay, Anehas and of course Sara Ramyor. I didn't say.
Yeah.
It is a. Then Purudangsha 8-1, same thing. Now we begin the declension of the word Krishna Vaha, one who carries Krishna. Hasidha nahodha dade sudhaturgha druha moha nashas nuha snihamba Vishnu padante Vaishnavi cha. When the Vishaya is Vishnu padanta or when a Vaishnava follows, the final ha of a dhatu becomes dha, but the final ha of the dhatu nah becomes dha. The final ha of a dhatu beginning with da becomes gha. The final varna of the dhatus druha, moha, nasha, snuha, and sneha optionally becomes gha. So the word we are dealing with is Krishna Vaha, which ends in haramant, which is haramant. So we have Krishna Vaha, and then Radha Krishna Janabhyam, and then the final ha of a dhatu becomes dharama. So Krishna Vad and Vishnudasa Vishnu Padante Harighoshe cha Harigada, Vishnudasasya Harikamalam va virame. So Krishna Vad, Krishna Vad. So this is Hasya Dhaha. So Krishna
Vaha means one who carries Krishna or what?
Yeah, Vaha means, Krishna Vaha means one who carries Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Krishna Vaha. So, yes. Then Krishna Vahu, Krishna Vaha. And if when we have Nash, Yuktasu, in that case, okay, this is Amrita, I think. Okay, Vaho Va Ut Bhagavati. The Va of Vaha is replaced by Ut when a Bhagavat follows. So Krishna, Vat, Vaho, Vaha, Vaham, Vaho. Then when it comes to 2, 3, so Vaho Va Ut Bhagavati, the Va of Va is replaced by Ut when a Bhagavat follows. Advaya Utho Vrishnendra. After Advaya, Ut takes Vrishnendra. So when we have Krishna Vaha Yukta Shas, so 291, which is Krishna Vaho Va Ut Bhagavati. No, it's not Va. Vaho Va Ut Bhagavati is applied, and Va is replaced by this insertion, and then it says Advayad Utha Vrishnendra. After Advaya, so we have Arama here from Advaya. This Udvayasya Au, if we remember. Okay. Ashwin Prabhu, what is the definition of Vrishnendra?
Advaisa A, Udvaisa O, Ridvaisa R, Vrishnendra Samya.
It was like a partial definition. Okay. Mm. Lokaram Prabhu.
I think
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
continue, Prabhuji. I think I missed Lidvaisa Al, Vrishnendra Samya. Is it correct?
A few more things are still
Sorry.
missing out. Yeah, maybe Lokaram Prabhu can.
Advayasya A, Idvayasya I, Udvayasya O, Rudvayasya R, Rudvayasya Al, Vrishnendra Samyaha, O sthane I aucha.
Yes. So we have Urama, the Dirgha U, so it becomes Au, and so Odvay Au, Krishna, and we just combine all together, and Sararamyo Nityadi. Krishna Ha, Krishna Ha, Krishna Ha, and when it is Bhyam, so Krishna Vaha, so Hasya Dhaha, okay, yeah, Hasya Dhaha, Nahodha, Dades to Dhatur Ghaha, and then Druhamoha Nashar, Snoha Snihama, Vishnu Vedante Vaishnavecha. So in this case, a Vaishnava is following because Bha is a Vaishnava. So we don't apply, Purvasya Vishnu Padavatvam Ityadi. And yes, so Krishna, Vard, and then Vishnudas Vishnu Vedante Hari Goshicha Hari Gada. Interestingly, here they have not applied Vishnu Purvasya Vishnu Padavatvam because a Vaishnava is following. But here they have applied Purvasya Vishnu Padavatvam so that they can apply Vishnudas Vishnu Padante Hare Ghoshicha Hari Gada.
Prabhu, when a Vaishnava follows only, we need to apply, right? Purvasya Vishnu Padavatvam, Aya Sarveshwaradhyoho.
I'm sorry?
Aya Sarveshwaradhyoho, right? So you should apply that only when non-Sarveshwara Pratyaya follows.
Yeah, but in this case, this was a Vaishnava. So to convert her into dha, hasya dha,
Right.
one prerequisite was it either be a Vishaya, which is Vishnu Padanta, or a Paranimitta can be there, which is a Vaishnava. So Vaishnava is there, so there was no need to consider it as a Vishnu Pada.
Right.
But in this case, because they had to apply Vishnudasa Vishnu Padante Ityadi, so they had made it a Vishnu Pada and then that sutra. So Krishna Vardbhyam and Krishna Vatsu. So here it goes. Yes. Now we begin the declension of the word Anaduhu, which means an ox. So Chaturanaduho Ram Krishna Sthane Buddhi Tvam, which means when a Krishna Sthana follows, then Am is inserted. Okay. Anaduha Numcha Shau. The word Anaduha also takes Num when Su follows. So Anaduha Yukta Su. So Chaturanaduho Ram Krishna Sthane Buddhi Tvam is applied. And Antasarvishat Paramita Sthanam. So this is here. Udamva Anadvaha Yuktasu. Now the current sutra which says Anaduho Num Sau is applied and we get Num. Again, Antasarvishat Paramita Sthanam. Anadvan Yuktasu. Then Radha viṣṇujanānta-puruṣottama-liṅga satsangāntasya haro ityadi. Anadvan by all these sutras. So this is your homework. Anadu. Anadu yukta au. Again, same thing. Chaturana Ram Krishna Sthane Bhutitvam and Andvaha. Then Anaduha and Anduh Yukta Bhyam. So this is this is 286, which says, what is 286?
Dhamsu Sramsu Vasvanadukam Krishnasthana. Vasvanadukam Do Viṣṇupadante.
Dvangsu Sramsu Vasvanaduham Do Viṣṇupadante. So here we have Anadu. So it changes to the Rama. So by this sutra, yes, so by this sutra, we get Anadudbhyam. So, and when it's 8-1, so Chaturana Duharam Krishna Sane Buddhetu So it says Buddhetu so it remains Anadvan. So like this. So this is one of your homework. So when like we say homework, so it means not just writing the forms, if in particularly it's mentioned, but also to, solve it like this. And mostly everyone solves it like this. So yes. Then we begin the declension of the word go. Duh, one who milks cows. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, who will recite this sutra? Javarja.
Varja Harigadadir Eka Sarveshwarasya Dhatur Harigoshantasya Harigoshatvam Viṣṇupadanti Sadvoscha.
So we have go duhu yukta su, and Radha viṣṇujanānta-puruṣottama-liṅga is applied. Sadvoscha. Basically, to apply.
How come 290 is applied here, which is a little bit far?
290 is hasya dha nahodha.
No, 290 we did not study it, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, we did.
Oh,
did, Prabhu.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think he's right. It's Hasya Daha Naho.
Yeah, it's that
Daha
one.
Naho Daha.
So it says, okay, we're dealing with du.
It's Dhatur Gaha, right? Dades to Dhatur Gaha.
1 minute. Yeah, the final ha of dhatu beginning with the becomes gha, this one. So that is applied, and then we get Dades dhatur gha, ha becomes gha, go dukh. Now here, javarja harigada deh. So there is no harigada from javar, except for javarja. What I'm saying. So it's javarja harigada deh. It's a harigada except for jarama. And javarja harigada deh eka sarveshwarasya. It's eka sarveshwara. And then
Dhatur
it's a dhatu. Then
Harigoshantasya Harigosha Anta.
it's Harigoshanta, and Adav, then Harigoshantasya Adav, Harigoshatvam.
Yeah.
1 minute. Javarja Harigadade Reka Sarveshwarasya Dhatur Harigoshantasya Adav Harigoshatvam Viṣṇupadanti Sadvoscha.
So it transformed into that from the previous.
The into the. So the becomes Harighosha of its own varga by this sutra. And then Viṣṇudasa Viṣṇupadanti Harighoshe cha Harigada. And then Viṣṇudasasya Harikamalam va virame. So go dhuk go dhug. Go duhau, duha, duham, duhau, duha, duha, dhugbhyam. So this dhugbhyam is like this. And go dhukshu, Ishvara Harimitra is applied, and go dhukshu. Ishvara Harimitra Kangabhya, so it's ka. So Shatvam is applied. Now we have the word Kansa Druhu, enemy of Kansa, which is a name of Krishna. So Kansa Druha Yuktasu, Radha viṣṇujanābhyam. So this is Hasedha Naho Dhaha Dades Dhaturgaha, then Druha, Muha, Nashas, Snuha, Sniham. What's next?
Druha Mohan Nashasna Sniham Vav.
Vishnu Padante
Vishnu
Vaishnava.
Vishnu Padante Vaishnava.
So, Kansa Druha, Ha changes to Gha Rama because Hasedha Naho Dhaha Dades Dhatur Gha. So this Gha is continued optionally for the next sutras, so for the next dhatus, which are Druha, what is that? Hasedha Naho Dhaha Dades Dhatur Gha, Druha Mohan Nasha Snuha Sniham, for these 5. So optionally, the last word of the dhatus become Gha. Then, so Kansa Druk and Javarja Hari Gadadir is applied. So Hari Ghosha and Vishnu Dasa Vishnu Padante Hari Ghosha Hari Gada. And then, Vishnu Dasa Hari Gada. But optionally, it says by 290, which is the same Hasedha Nahodha. Let me just check it. 290. So one time, if it's a dhatu and it's ending with ha, it becomes da. But for these dhatus, optionally it becomes gha. So one time gha and one time dha. For druha in particular. So, yes. Drud, Javarja Harigade, Eka Sarveshwarasya Adav Harigoshantasya, Javarja Harigadade, Eka Sarveshwarantasya Eka Sarveshwara.
Javarja Harigadade Eka Sarveshwarasya Do Harigoshantasya. Sorry. Javarja Harigadade Eka Sarveshwarasya.
Dhatur Harigoshantasya Da Harigoshatvam. Vishnu Padante Sadhoshcha.
How come it's stuck in the same place?
Okay. Yes. Kansa Dhrut and Vishnudasa Vishnupadante, the same thing. Dhrut. Druhau, Druham, Druhau, ityadi. Then 2 options again. Dhrugbhyam, Dhrudbhyam. So please do this. Kansa Druhu. One more homework. Can write just the forms even for this one. Or maybe you can solve Kansa Druhu. Then we have this. Yes, Kansa Druhu. Krishnangri Lih. Which means one who licks Krishna's feet. So Hasya Dha is applied here, and the word Sansara Dava Anala Leadha Loka, that Leadha is made by this sutra. The Dha Rama, out of Her Rama.
I see.
Yeah, and the Mool Dhatu is Lihi. Lihi Aswadane, I think, which means to suck. To lick something, to suck.
Oh, so Aswadana means it's tasting also, right?
Means, see, Aswadana doesn't just restrict the meaning to...
It's like tasting, relishing, huh? Licking sounds kind of weird here. I'm just gonna.
Now, see, if we say Sansara Dava Anala Lead Haloka, now we're not testing the Dava Anal of Sansara.
Yeah.
Force
know,
test.
It has got a little broad meaning. So anyhow, in this case, one may say that one who is relishing the lotus feet of Krishna.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like Aswadane better than
means literally here
licking
we cannot
for
say
this
who's
one.
one who is licking.
I was surprised that it sounds almost similar to English word lich, lick.
What is that? Okay.
Lich and lick both sounds almost similar.
You know, I would like to tell one thing because we have, like, you know, we have that famous dhatu which is dukra karane.
Dukrun Karane.
Shankaracharya's Dhatu.
Yeah.
So it's dukriya, I think, yeah. So it is like this, you know, we have these two indicator letters and then the main dhatu is this. Now in English, what is the verb of, you know, doing any activity, the main verb?
Do.
To do.
Do is like, and my teacher would tell often that they have taken from here. Means I don't know how authentic is that, but sounds good to me. So yeah, Krishna Angri lead, lihav, liha, ityadi, liham, lihav. And when bhyam is there, then lid bhyam, litsu in 7-3, like that. Tura saha. This also appears in Amar Kosha. Tura saha. One who conquers quickly. Name of Indra. Sadha Shat. Sad is replaced by Shat. So Tura saha. So we have Tura saha, Radha viṣṇujanānta-puruṣottama-liṅga, then Hasya Dha is applied. Then Sadha Shat is applied. So Sad is replaced by Shat. Then Viṣṇudāso Viṣṇuvadante and Viṣṇudāsa Sarikamalam Avirame. Tura Shat, name of Indra. Tura Sahu, Saha, Saham, Sahu. Then Bhyam is Tura Shat Bhyam. 7-3 will be Tura Shatsu Ityadi. Thus ends the declension of the masculine words ending in Avishnudana. Haribo.
Haribo.
Now we can
Jai.
anything almost.
Milestones.
So the word saha, tolerating, conquering, is formed by applying the krit pratyaya mi after the dhatu shah marshane. So you know the word sahana, which is
Tolerating, enduring.
sahishnuna, they say sahana, which means to tolerate, is from this shah marshane.
That's Sahana Bhavatu. That's different. Right?
No, that is, I think, something else. Sahana bhavatu, sahana bhunaktu. That is actually sahanau. That is different. That is saha. Saha means along with.
Okay.
And naha means we both.
Us.
And I think that's not naha, that's no. Because it's talking of the teacher and the student. So it's like dual. Om sahana bhavatu, sahana bhunaktu. So it's again dual. So that's different. Not everything that sounds similar are similar actually. So I just wanted to tell that it's from Shaha Marshan Dhatu. Yes. Yeah, so basically we are done with masculine gender and yeah. We'll begin this tomorrow. Anything here? Otherwise, we'll do Bhagavatam. On Monday, we'll take a little test on viṣṇujanānta-puruṣottama-liṅga, because it was quite a big section, means comparatively, in comparison with the previous ones, and it's little technical too. So means it's worthwhile to take a test for this.
So the sorry. Is the format going to be the same? Like we read the commentary and then we derive the formulas?
No, that will be different for this. It will be more technical, and means I can ask, what would be the form, like 2-3 of this word,
Okay, sure.
something like that. Basically, I just want to check, means if and everyone remembers and memorizes all the sutras of this section, and he knows the application of each sutra.
Sure, Prabhuji. That's good. Thank you.
So the third shloka here, Yatha yavahito vahnir darushvega swayonishu naneva bhati vishvatma bhuteshu cha tatha puman. It's here. Yatha swayonishu what is this? Swa abhivyanjakeshu ekah vannehi eka eva agnehi avahitah sannihita san नाना इव प्रकाश तारतम्येन विभिन्न इव भाति. तथा विश्वात्मा विश्व अंतर्यामी पुमान क्षीरोदशाय विष्णु तृतीय पुरुषः भूतेषु सर्व प्राणिषु अंतर्यामी रूपेण अंतःस्थितः सन् नाना इव भाति. So just like Vahni, the fire, even though situated in its source from where it's originating, but it appears to be, because of its rays or because of its light and the heat which it provides, it appears to be all pervasive, at least to a particular circle of circumference, as they say. Just like, if we lit up a piece of wood, so, there will be fire from that wood. Now the fire is situated in that wood. The fire itself is not moving out of the wood. If it moves out of the wood, then there won't be fire, because the source will be different. It has to be saman adhikaran, as they say in Sanskrit. Saman adhikaran. How do you say it in English? Saman adhikaran. In the same place. So, but the effect of that fire seems to be all pervasive because of its light and heat. Similarly, Vishwatma, Vishwantrayami, who is the Tritiya Purusha, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, he is situated in Bhuteshu, in all the living entities, in one form, but he appears to be many, Nana Eva Bhati. He is situated as one Antaryami in everyone's heart, but he appears to be many. Let's read Prabhupada's translations. This is 1, 2, 32, right? The Lord as Super Soul pervades all things, just as fire permeates wood, and so he appears to be of many varieties, though is the absolute one without a second. So, yes, like that.
So this is also referring to Jiva as well, right? That Bahushyam.
No, basically that, of course, now that is also one uh, topic, but here it's talking of super soul. Like Prabhupada would say, the sun is situated in the sky, but when we have many clay pots filled with water, on the earth, on the planet, so the reflection in each earthen pot, it appears like the sun is situated in all the pots, because the reflection goes is to be seen in all the pots, which are filled with water, of course. So
Right.
similarly, the super soul is one. The point is, super soul is one, but he appears to be scattered, or he appears to be rampant all over because of his symptoms. Because the life on the planet, the life in this material world is because of the super soul, the presence of super soul, as we study from Canto 3, I think, right? Canto 2 or Canto 3, Bhagavatam. That because super soul enters into each and everything, then everything gets into action. Before that, everything is a matter.
Right. So that is one interpretation. I'm asking the other thing. Can we also take it?
But in this case, they are not talking of jivas.
How you are saying? You are saying sarva bhuteshu, right?
Now see, Prabhupada, he translates in the living entities as all things. Okay, yatha, just like, just as a fire permeates wood, yatha hi vahni, ekah vahni, darushu avahita. Just as fire permeates wood, swayonishu nana eva bhati, appears to be of many varieties. So Eka, although he is one without a second, the absolute Lord, he Bhuteshu. Now Bhuteshu is translated as all things here by Prabhupada. Now Bhuteshu here refers to the Jivatma plus the Panch Mahabhuti one, as per Prabhupada's translation.
Right.
So in this case, Bahusyama is not the topic, because if we study the last two verses, 30 and 31st, then they were progressively talking of the Karana Dakshay Vishnu in 30th, and in the 31st they were talking of uh, the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, right? Yeah, Garbhodakshay. And in this verse they are talking of the third Purusha, which is Shirodakshay. So Bahusyama is not being talked of here.
I see. So one question here, Prabhuji, that fire permeating the wood, right? Ek agni vakni ekaha, but darushu, right? So avahitaha. This is like a fire in the wood, is it?
Yeah, fire in the wood.
Basically, there is the fire is in the wood, but not talking about burning wood. The potential is there.
Yes, the potential is there, fire is there. Yeah,
Okay.
the potential is there, which is the fire in the wood. Any other suggestions or contemplation on this point? Because this point would be contemplated even more. Personally, I think like that.
Well, it seems that in the Anvaya that we're getting here, that bhati is being used in a literal way as shining or dipyate, so it is that the fire is burning. And then therefore, because the fire is burning, it appears like it's separated. but
Separated,
that fire is.
separated from what?
Well,
The
we have this
source.
prakasha taratamyena vibhinna iva. It appears as though it's separated from the source of that shining, but it's not separated.
I took it in that sense, like I even took and explained in that sense. That
Yeah.
when it but Prabhupada, he translates in a little different way, just as fire permeates wood. So fire is burning on the source, which is the wood here, and basically it says swayonishu, which Prabhupada says that a wood, it can be something else even. So when it's burning, so because of that burning, because of the symptoms of the fire, which are especially the heat and the light, the fire appears to be pervading, you know, the whole environment, let's say like that, except even apart from, you know, being connected to the source, which is the wood, which is the swayoni, it also seems to be pervading everywhere around. Similarly, Vishwatma, although he's one, just like sun is one, fire is one, but still he's being seen or he's appearing to be pervading everywhere in all bhutas, bhuteshu.
Okay, then there is a difference in here and there. I see. Okay, this is more like fire is burning in one wood, but then it's a shine. The light is spread everywhere. Light and heat is spread everywhere.
Yeah, and because of that light which is spread all over, it looks like that the fire itself is, you know, pervading. It's like fire and fire's energy, which is the light and heat.
Right.
So through
So
that energy,
that's the confusion, right? Because if you say that Paramatma is pervading everything like that, Paramatma is the same Paramatma, not the energy.
I'm sorry.
Paramatma is pervading everywhere within the world, right? That's the me subject it is talking about. If that is the case, the example analogy used here is the fire is in the wood, but then its energy is pervading everywhere. But Paramatma, we say the Paramatma himself is pervading everywhere, not energy of Paramatma.
Yeah, that is true. But the fact is, even though he's pervading himself everywhere, but he's not Nana. He's still one, but he appears to be Nana. That's why Nana eva bhati.
Right. So my point is the analogy, how come it is similar? Because in the first one, the fire is not everywhere. Only the energy of fire is everywhere. Fire is in one place. Right.
The
But in
point is Nana eva bhati, that both of the subjects, whether it is fire or the Paramatma, although they appear to be all pervading, but they still remain one. The soul.
yeah, so that point is clear, Prabhuji. But what is pervading is the question. He's one. Anyways.
In which case?
This is.
So in both the cases, so in the first case, only the energy is pervading everywhere. Correct? This interpretation.
No, you're taking part of the analogy in a way that's not, the analogy isn't being utilized here. We're not talking about the energy of Paramatma. It's simply talking about the pervasion of Paramatma everywhere, and how even though pervading everywhere and be appearing like there are different pieces of the Paramatma everywhere, because it seems like there's a different Paramatma in everyone's heart, in every atom and all of these things, that Paramatma is completely one, and these aren't actually different manifestations of the Paramatma. I was just reading this 2 days ago with a couple friends of mine in Bhagavat Sandarbha. It's a really difficult point to understand. The whole of Bhagavat, that section of Bhagavat Sandarbha, is all about the achintya nature of Bhagavan. And so this point that's being brought out here is that just as the fire appears like it's in many different places through its effect, through the emanations that are coming off of it, the supersoul appears like he's in different places because he's in this atom, he's in this heart, he's all in these different places. But it's not talking about energy. So that part of the analogy shouldn't be taken. And the point is that he's actually one Paramatma who is simultaneously everywhere, but is not split into different manifestations.
So you are, but the main point of the analogy itself is the influence is spread everywhere, right? Not.
No, the main point of the analogy is that the fire pervades everywhere. just as the Paramatma pervades everywhere.
So that, I mean, to me, it looks like if you want to take that one, then what Prabhupada takes seems to be more appropriate there, right? The fire is spreading everywhere, permeating in all the woods.
That's what the commentary is saying, though. It's just explaining how it's just giving more details as to the analogy. How is the fire pervading everywhere? Because we see its light everywhere. And we perceive the light as different from the Paramatma. So we say there is a Paramatma, and then we say there are different Paramatmas in each individual entity and in each atom. But we speak about Vishwatma as being that one Paramatma. And so he's saying that even though there are all these different manifestations of Paramatma, they're not actually different manifestations. They're all the exact same person.
So the confusion comes mainly because we use the same analogy, sun and the sunlight, for comparing Jiva and the Paramatma.
Yes, exactly. But you see, it's the same analogy, but it's being used in a different context. So we can only take the context the analogy is being utilized for. Because we can tear apart analogies all day. Any analogy you give, we can tear apart, but we have to take it how it's being presented. So this isn't talking about the relationship between Shaktiman and Shakti. This is talking about Paramatma and his supposed or apparent manifestations everywhere.
Is it okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. But still, to me, Prabhupada's translation is more convincing. I'm not saying this one is,
Can we just look at Prabhupada's quickly?
Yeah, here it is.
What difference do you see here? Other than it being less descriptive.
Yeah, okay. So fire is one element, like the Panchabhutas, right? But then it is there in every wood, every piece of wood. It is there. Potential is there already. It is there. So it's not visible, but it is there. So like that, the Paramatma is also in every living entity, though he is in one place.
Okay, let me try to also, give some.
So I just have one question in response to that. So what do you make of, and so he appears to be of many varieties in Prabhupada's translation?
He appears to be of many varieties. He's like, the fire is being duplicated in every wood, right? So similarly, the Lord is being duplicated in every living entity. Though he is duplicated, he is not many. He is just only one person.
One thing is that, when Prabhupada says that he appears to be of many varieties, that it's like Brahmani Gavi Hastishu. What is that shloka? Pandita Samadarshana.
I think
Vidyavane Sampanne Brahmane Gavyastini.
Yeah, Vidya. Yeah, so that verse. So, like in different forms, so Paramatma resides in different visible forms, whether they are like matter or the normal matter Jada forms, like the Panchamahabhutas, or the living entities. And now Paramatma is the one and the same, but he appears to be of many varieties because of residing in all these different forms. Similarly, there may be different types of sources, Swayonishu, as Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada says here, the source of fire, many varieties and many types of sources of fire. Let's say many varieties of wood, because Prabhupada says wood. And fire emanates, it says Prakasha Taratamyena. Now, Taratamya means gradation, proportion, differences. Now, let's say if I burn fire on a piece of wood which weighs 1 kilogram, and if I burn fire on a piece of wood which weighs 10 kilogram, now there will be a difference of fire, which emanating from both the pieces of wood. Are we getting that point?
So that means then he's talking about Jiva, right? The Paramatma becoming Jiva.
No. The point being talked of is Paramatma still. The subject is Paramatma, and in the analogy, the subject is fire.
Right, Prabhuji. But if you are saying that wood, according to the size of the wood it burns, that more sounds like a Jiva, Paramatma becoming Jiva.
Paramatma never becomes Jiva. The
I mean,
Jiva is an eternal part of the Paramatma.
right. In the sense of that becomes and all these things are, we are in the middle world. It's quite easy. But in the sense of the Angsha, Jiva being.
But
Buddha,
that's the
yes.
point here. That's the point that's being made here, is that these are not amshas of the Paramatma that are existing everywhere, even though they appear to be so. It appears that the Paramatma is here, the Paramatma is there, this individual Paramatma is here, but they're all the same person.
If it was talking of the jivas like Vijay Prabhu, then this statement would go wrong. Actually, the shloka would go wrong
Yeah,
because
Nana.
it says Nana eva bhati. Then this eva
Yeah.
would go, because if it was talking of the jivas actually, then when we talk of jivas, then we are Nana, we are many,
Yes.
and so then it would go wrong. So it's just talking of, and one more thing is bhati is singular, it's not plural.
Yeah.
From a grammar point of view.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So then the meaning of the whole verse would go wrong.
Makes sense, Prabhuji.
It's just talking of one person, and that is the Paramatma here. And the analogy of fire is given just to substantiate that point. Maybe you will have some dream today.
No, I think that Nana eva bhati makes sense because jivas are many, right? Yeah.
So, like that. Okay. असौ गुणमयैर्भावैर्भूत सूक्ष्मेन्द्रियात्मभिः स्वनिर्मितेषु निर्विष्टो भुङ्क्ते भूतेषु तद्गुणान्. असौ हरिः भूत सूक्ष्म इंद्रिय आत्मभिः भूत सूक्ष्माणि विषयाः च इंद्रियाणि दशेन्द्रियाणि च आत्मा मनश्च तैः. It should be तैः because this is 3-1. Oh, sorry, 3-3. गुणमयी त्रिगुणात्मकैः भावैः वस्तुभिः स्वनिर्मितेषु निज उत्पादितेषु भूतेषु चतुर्विधेषु प्राणिषु निर्विष्टः अंतः प्रविष्टः सन् तद्गुणान् तत्तद् अनुरूपान् विषयान् इच्छया भुङ्क्ते. So Lord Hari, he antah pravishtah, son, he enters and resides in chaturvidha pranishu. Now I think we know what is chaturvidha prani. Anyone? Chaturvidha?
Fourfold.
The pranis, the birth happens in 4 ways. One is what is it? Swedaja, Andaja,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Eggs, perspiration.
Swedaja,
Sweda.
Andaja,
Andaja
Udbhira,
is from an
and
egg. Huh?
yeah, Swedaja is from perspiration, Andaja is from egg, and Jarayuja from embryo, and the fourth one is Udbhida, like trees and so on, which come out of land. So, the Lord, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he resides and enters and resides in these bhutas who are swanirmiteshu, nij utpaditeshu, means who have ultimately come from him. How? Bhavai gunamayi bhuta sukshma indriyatmabhi gunamayi bhavai. Bhuta sukshmani vishaya cha indriyani dasha indriyani. So bhuta sukshmani are the vishayas, indriyani are the dash indriyas, cha atma, which is mana, tai, which are composed of the 3 gunas, bhavai, vastubhi. So here it's mentioned that Paramatma is also indirectly present, in ourselves, what we consider the body of ourselves. So this is also energy of Paramatma, And Paramatma is also residing. When we say Paramatma is residing, enters and resides, it doesn't just mean that he resides into the heart, but it also means that he also resides in every atom. Now, every atom includes all the Sukshma Indriyas, all the Panchamahabhutas even, which our body is composed of. So, in spite of the fact that Paramatma is residing in our hearts, he's also residing indirectly in all the, the elements that our body is composed of.
That is a very interesting perspective.
You know, even very like nice point. So, tad gunan ichaya bhunkte. Tad tad anurupan vishayan ichaya bhunkte.
Prabhuji, one question.
Let us read the translation.
Yeah, sure.
This one. This is 33, right? And it should be 33. The super soul enters into the bodies of the created beings, bodies, who are influenced by the modes of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effects of these modes by the subtle mind. It says cause them. Amazing.
That Bhunkte is Nich Pratyaya or what?
By Prabhupada's translations, it looks like, now we have to go and read how Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada has translated it in Bengali. Because
It's like-
Prabhupada's translation appears to be Niyanta translation for Bhunkte. Because here, if we simply see, then Asau Bhunkte means Hari enjoys. He consumes as per his ichha, his desire. But here, it's like Niyanta. So he causes them to enjoy the effects of these modes by the subtle mind. Prabhupada's translations, like I've been noticing since some time, they are a little different from what's being expressed here in the Anvayas.
Yeah, sometimes I see it's more closer towards Sridhar Swami's commentary.
Prabhupada's translations.
Yeah.
So, but here, like Asau is like Ichaya Bhunkte.
So can I ask the question?
Okay.
So here it says Chaturvidheshu, right? Now you talked about the plant. Now you can cut a part of a plant and then put it on the ground and it will grow as another plant, right? What is that coming under?
I actually found, I wondered this, and I saw there's I'll have to dig it up, but Jiva Goswami quotes this, that there's in a Purana, it says that when you take a cutting from a plant, a Jiva enters into that cutting. If
That
yes,
would be wonderful if you can
yes.
share the
I
reference.
wondered
Again?
about this. A Jiva enters into the cutting of that plant. It's another Jiva. When you cut a plant and it survives,
Okay.
and you root that plant, that a Jiva enters into it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was wondering about this for so long, and I was thinking it was just one of those small doubts, that how can this work? And it's a big argument the scientists could make if we're saying that there's an individual living entity, and then, but we can cut a branch off this tree, or a little cutting off of a plant, but it's there.
Yeah, the same question also they asked Prabhupada also. So is that every cell in our body contains an Atma or not? So then Prabhupada was asking, what is a cell? Then this body was explaining. Then Prabhupada says, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a funny question.
So, yeah, so you were expert in that field, so I think that's a worthwhile question you had, Ujjal Prabhu. I mean, means when someone is some field, so he naturally.
Yeah, you think about those things. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
it's very
remember.
natural that we are curious about those things.
Seeds over.
It's the wrong kind of seeds, though.
Anyhow, but you got the right seeds now.
Exactly.
And you're sowing, so you're still a seed sower, basically. भावयत्येष सत्त्वेन लोकान् वै लोकभावनः लीलावतारानुरतो देवतिर्यं naradishu. I think we did this word tiryak somewhere in grammar, right?
Yeah, tirichas tiraschir vidachir bhagavati.
So this is, we had tiryak, and then this is harivenu harivenurva, and we get tiryam, the harivenu. So eshaha, this is eshaha, sa eva, loka bhavanaha, lokan bhavayati, which is palayati iti, Lokkarta, Vishnu. So even when we have Bhut Bhavana, it's the same thing. Bhutan Bhavayati Palayati iti, Bhut Bhavana. Lokkarta Vishnu, Devatiryang Naradishu, Vividh Pranishu, Leelavatar Anurataha. Ye Leelavataraha Teshu Anuraktaha San. Satvena Sattvagunena Lokan Bhutan Bhavayati Palayati. What is the translation? Thus the Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, man, and lower animals, assuming the roles of incarnations. This is Rataha, Anurataha, Nana Avatara Anurataha, right? Leela Avatara Anurataha. He performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. So Esha Loka Bhavanaha Devatirim Naradishu Leela Avatar Anurataha. Basically, this Anurata is like Avirbhutaha, one who appears in different Leela Avataras amongst Dev, Tiryam and Naras. Because Anurata can also mean one who is absorbed, in the pastimes of Leela Avataras. Anurata can also have the sense of Anurakta. One who's attached to, one is fond of. But here Anurata is like Avirbhuta.
Well, that could also make sense though, no? Because he even glosses it like that, Anuraktaha, because he becomes absorbed in those roles of the Leela avatars.
Yeah, Nato Natyo, Dhara, Natvara. In that sense, yes. Who is, yeah, we can take it like that. But means this sense is mainly used for devotees, like in our tradition, when we say, one who is absorbed in the pastimes and activities. Of course, it can also be used for Krishna.
Yeah.
But mostly for the devotees, such sense is used, who are absorbed in the pastimes, Leela Chintan and so on. But yeah, here, Leela Avataraha Teshu Anuraktaha San. So Sattvena, yeah, you are right actually. Being,
only because I saw it and you said it can mean Anurakta, and then he's
being fully obsessed by his roles in different Leela avatars, he maintains, as they say, or Prabhupada says, he reclaims the bhutas, the living entities, who are enjoined, how do you say, who are full of satoguna. As per Prabhupada, he performed pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of goodness, pure goodness. So, iti Srimad Bhagavata Prathama Skanda. Okay, I have a question. Is this the or the? Like ideally? I think this should be the, Skandha.
Yeah, I think so. I think
because
Skanda means shoulder.
Skanda is the name of Kartikeya.
Right.
Kartikeya's name is Skanda, Ganesha's brother. But when we say Skandha, then it means a branch. and which means a part of a whole body. And in this case,
Yeah.
why Skandha? Because Sridhar Swami, if we read that shloka, right? In his commentary, the Mangalacharan, that Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to a taru, a kalpataru, a tree. And that's why all the 12 cantos are compared to, 12 skandhas, 12 trunks, stems, or branches. That's why it's skandha. It's like when we read Madhurya Kadambini. So Kadambini refers to, a sequence of clouds, a series of clouds. So that's why the chapters names are Varsha, right?
Yeah, right.
I think so. Yeah,
It's
showers.
Varsha. Yeah, showers. When we have Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, so it's like ocean. So they have waves.
Laharas.
It's just so nice, actually, the compositions in each scripture. So when we have Sindhu, ocean, so now in the ocean we have waves. So it's like Purva. How is that?
Well, he says Vibhaga, like divisions, direction, Purva Vibhaga, and then those are broken up into Laharas,
then,
right?
Yeah, then first wave, second wave, third wave, and so on.
But volume, how do they usually say in Sanskrit?
Which one?
Volume, other than Bhagavatam, like for other works, there are multiple.
Volume.
They also usually say Skanda, like for Padma Purana.
Yeah, Skanda.
But
And in Mahabharata they say Parva.
Yeah,
like
most
Bhishma
in
Parva.
Mahabharata Parva, and in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, they say
Khanda.
Kanda.
Kanda, yeah.
So Kanda is like section.
Adi Kanda, Madhyama Kanda.
Yeah, it's like a section, chapter, division of work. So means I was just contemplating on this point a few days back, and I really felt nice that how the scriptures are named, like, so very nice actually.
I'm surprised that everywhere it is written in Bengali, Skanda, because this line comes.
I think this is the, but when it translates into, that Hindi, so it takes it as the Rama, not the Rama.
So you are saying it is DHA in Bengali?
Yeah, this is the. This is not the. This is the.
Oh, I see. Then it's my mistake.
When it transcribes, then I believe that it takes.
No, Prabhu, there is no transcribe. I am typing.
Really?
Yeah, I type in Bengali and then I convert it.
Let me try type in Bengali and let's see how does it come. So this is ska, and then we have na. So yeah, this is Kandha, Prabhu.
The small the, I mean, without the.
This is this.
Oh,
And Skand, and this is Skanda.
Yeah. Okay, my mistake then. Okay, got it.
Like that.
So I
So
typed
here,
it rather than
yeah, so here it is Skandha.
Can you scroll down, Prabhuji? What I have written then?
Here?
No, the other one. Yeah,
This one?
Little bit down. Third line. Oh, there also I wrote it wrongly. Okay. Third line says what you're showing at the bottom for that iti. Third line there also Prathama Skande I have written.
Here.
Yeah, that's also wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow.